Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel, Stitching with the Dachshund. I hope January was a great month for everybody. January for me was quiet and productive, which I like. We also had our friends come up from Oklahoma, and I was able to give Kirk his Firefly sampler, and I could tell in his face that he really loved it. And that made me very, very happy. They've already got it hung up in their house. So today is the 1st of February. And I thought this would be a great time to come in and do a video. Family update, everything is pretty much the same. No changes there at all, which I guess is okay too. Little boring life is not bad sometimes. But anyway, it's February 1st, and I challenged myself through January to kickstart my Stitch 9 and my Year of Whips hard and heavy. I am motivated largely by competition. I love it. Some people talk about how they don't need challenges and they don't need competition. I don't need it, but I love it. And it's more about competing against myself and challenging myself. So in my last video, I talked about my Year of Whips, and I showed what was going to be in my Year of Whips. And then I watched Farm Girl, and she did the Stitch 9 challenge, and I was like, that's right up my alley, because now out of my 23 year of Whips projects that I have, I can choose my top 9 that I want to get done. And my goal was to get them done in the first quarter of 2019, to target those whips, the 9 challenge. And so in my last video, I showed you the 9 that I chose. Some are small, some are medium, and I think I have maybe largest one in there. But it doesn't matter about the size. It matters about what you want to get done and what projects you want to see done. So I'm going to go through what I got done in January. Because like I said, I wanted January to be very productive in the cross stitch realm for me. As a matter of fact, I've kind of put all my other, my crochet, the quilting of the little baby blanket, that kind of to the back burner, because I want to ride this wave of motivation to get my whips done. So I will ride that wave until the wave kind of mellows out, and then I'll get back to some of my other ones. But it's working for me, because out of the Stitch 9 patterns that I chose, I've completed 6. And I'm going to show you those 6 right now. So here we go, the first one, and this is in no particular order or how I got them stitched either. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see as I got them done, I would post them. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Stitching with the Dachshund, same as my YouTube channel. I would love for you to follow me on Instagram. I am close to 1,000 followers. I'd love to get 1,000 followers. So if you haven't followed me yet, please go in there and follow me, so you can see what I'm doing every day, because I post almost every day on there. So, and I will, for the last 2 times, and I'm going to try to do this more as I go, I try to make a story. Once I've finished one, like I finished Liberty, basket full of red, white, and blue, I want to take all the pictures, because I take pictures nightly when I work on something, and then progress it through till it's finished. And I've been able to do 2 of those. Both of them are in here. And then I put them in my stories, and then I put them in my highlights. So if you watch my highlights, it's labeled hen stacked or hen peck. You can see where I started it and to where it got finished. Now this was just an idea that I had a couple weeks ago. So the pictures don't always just really go real smooth. Sometimes there's a big jump in them. So now that I want to do a story about them when I get done with a pattern, I'm being more aware of taking a picture every night for sure, and as I work on it, so that when I put it in the story, you just see it kind of like just grow until it's completed. I love it. I don't know, I just thought it would be a great addition to my Instagram. So first one we're going to talk about is Liberty. Well, it says Liberty, but it's actually Basket of Red, White, and Blue from Shakespeare's Peddler. Now, you might remember that she has done a basket of eggs, and I've completed that one too. And I'm also planning to do this in her method of finishing. Still not used to this camera. In her method of finishing. So I've already bought the little boxes and such. And I've actually started progressing towards finishing. I went in and ironed down the ironable fusion on the back of it, so that when I make my pillows or whatever I'm going to make, I have that on there already. So I'm trying to move towards finishing projects this year. It is a goal also. So this is my first one that was in my Stitch 9 challenge and my year of whips. So finish number 1. And I really do like Shakespeare's Peddler's Pattern, so it's just a joy to work on it. Okay, second one, Plum Street Samplers, Henpeck. Here we go. Maybe if I move my chair. There we go. Okay, this is just a doll. I love this. I love this. And the color for the brown one here is especially thread for Rhode Island Red. So I had to have a Rhode Island Red in there. I don't know if you could tell in the grass down here, but I was trying to use I had bought for, I don't even remember which pattern, and then I was gifted, or I got some off the freebie table at the retreat I went to last July, of some color cotton, some specialty thread, which I didn't have a lot to do any one project because I finished the one that I did buy it for. So I had a little bit left on that, and then I found the one on the freebie table. I had a little bit left. They were both green, both variegated, but not the same. So I started up in here, and I started working with it, but then I ran out of it down here. So you can actually probably see the difference. Isn't that okay? I like it. You know, because if you live out in the country, you could come across a patch of grass that's totally different than all that's around it. So anyway, this is Henpeck. I love the way it turned out. I loved it. And most of these were started for year of whip. So it's not like I had most of them done and then I started on them. That's not how it worked. But it doesn't matter if it did work that way. I got them done. Now, I'm going to show you one of my favorites. And it's out of the Snowflower Diaries series. December. Isn't she beautiful? Now, if you remember, I've done different color fabric on every month. Every month has a different color fabric. Still not quite sure how I'm going to finish these. My husband said that I should make pillows and one side be 1 month and the next side be the next month. So all I have to do is like go flip it, and then I don't have to store as many pillows or items. And I was like, you know, that's not a bad idea. My thing is the sewing skill. I'll see. I'll watch a few tutorials and see if I can get it. But I love it. I love the color of that bird. I love the ice. I love the little decorations up in the corner. I changed quite a bit of stuff because, you know, when you change fabric, sometimes the threads don't show as well. So this is December. I could just sit here and look at it. I hope one of the screenshots is one of these pieces that I finished. That'd be great. So that's December. Now I will tell you that I am sick and tired of this border because I've now done it on 11 and I'm working on the 12th one now. So I'm almost through with the border. So this is October. This is another one that just turned out so beautiful. Look at that little hedgehog. Oh man, I always say every time I finish one I go, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. Well, okay, I think they're all my favorite. But look at him do. He's got the butterfly up there. He's got a little snail buddy. Look at the colors of the flowers. I changed the colors on this thing too because it just didn't fit. Oh my gosh. And the dreaded border. So, I love October. October looks great for me. And when I finish up the last one, which is November, I'll probably say, it's my favorite. We'll see. Now this one, I started this pattern just because Vicki from Stitch in Buttons started a Oh My God coffee sal. And I had already finished my coffee Quaker, but I want a coffee bar. And so I want a few cross-stitch things for coffee. So I bought some patterns. I think I told about that in my last story. So I started this one. Let there be caffeine on earth and let it begin with me. Isn't it gorgeous? I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's going to look really good, really good, hung up at in a coffee bar, right beside the Coffee Quaker, or near the Coffee Quaker, or however. If we get to build the house like we want to, I really don't know how it's going to, how we're going to end up with it all. It's a mystery. Okay, I'm going to have to turn this one around this way. Now, this one is Queen Bee of the Needles, which, if you know, I love bees. This pattern is from the Primitive Hair, and it is designed to be a needle case. But when I started stitching this, I realized really quick that I like my needle cases small, and these are going to be a chunky one. So I've decided I'm going to create something different with this. So you'll see that I left in the pattern, they have a bee and another honeycomb in there, and above it, up here, it would say needles 26, 28, 24 up there. Well, I left all that out on purpose because I'm going to make it into a fold. But Mo, when he gets in his playful mood and I'm cross stitching, if I'm not paying attention to him like he thinks I need to be paying attention to him, he'll make a circle. The kitchen behind me, it makes a circle. You can circle through it. I'll hear him down the hall and he'll start running. He'll make a circle in the kitchen and he'll come out full blast and just jump in my lap because he wants my attention. So when he does that, a lot of times I'm like, I hear him coming, and I'm like, sometimes like, no, but sometimes he makes it. So I'm usually like dropping my cross stitch so he won't get it dirty. He's knocked my needles, he's knocked my thread. His tail is a weapon of mass destruction. That boy has cleared off my table, my stitching table, with one sweep of that tail. It just went everywhere. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to make a fold, like a needle fold in here. But a lot of times in these patterns, like this one only has like 4 colors in it. So I'm going to, in these squares down here, if I can, this is like I said, I don't sew, and I'm thinking this through. I want to put a little felt thing so that when I'm stitching with a certain colored thread, I can set it on there, and then if he hits me, I'm not losing my thread. Or when I stand up because he's got to go outside, I'm not pulling my thread with me, finding it all over the place. So I'm going to put a little felty thing right there, maybe, to keep my thread that I'm working on stick right there. The second one, I want to put in a magnet strip, just a small one, because when I have a project that I only have 2 or 3 needles in, I like to thread every needle with a color so that I can just go in and change. And so I would love to have a little magnet strip in there so I could set my needles on there. I'll probably cover it with maybe some fabric of some type. I don't know. The third one, I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I was thinking maybe since I've been doing project bags and working with the vinyl, that I might stitch a little pocket in there just to have a threader or something put in there. I don't know yet. This is still a thought in progress, actually. But what you do is you stitch right side to right side and then do flips and all that. I mean, I know how to do that, but I'm still coming up with my concept of exactly what I want to do with it. So we will see how this turns out. I'm kind of really excited about it because it's so big, and when I fold it, it can actually sit on my arm of my chair or something like that. But my thought is, if he comes charging in or if his tail goes crazy and he knocks my stuff over, the magnet will still hold my needles, and the felt or whatever I put in there will hold the thread that I'm still working on. So we'll see how that goes. And you know what? If it doesn't work like I want it to, I can adjust it to make it work however I want to do it. Okay, so that was my first 6 of my Stitch 9 challenge. I'm super excited that I got that done. Like I said, if I get a moment, I stitch. If I can cheat moments from somewhere, I stitch. And I'm just going to ride that wave until I don't feel like that anymore. Don't worry, I'm not going to lose my stitchy bug. I'm still adoring every minute that I get to sit and cross stitch. I don't know if I got to show you this on the last one, but I finished 7th day on the 12 days of Christmas. I put the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th in the Year of Whips. So that's not a Stitch 9, but it is a Year of Whips finish. So let's move on with, oh, it's got my needle on it. With my works in progress, my whips for the Stitch 9, which also is in my Year of Whips. This is November. I just love that rich, dark, chocolatey look of the background on this one. I did change the colors out. They were more green in the original. I wanted more blue because I just like it better. So, like I said, I hate the border on these because I've done it now 12 times. So I haven't done the border on this one yet. I love doing the picture on these. They're fun to do. They're fun to watch come to life. But I hate the border. I hate the border. And out of the 12, I've had 2 that the border didn't match up. January, I put a little charm where it didn't match up. Hid it. The second one, I don't know what month it was. I'm like, I don't even care. I hate these borders so much. I don't even care. So anyway, this is November. This was actually my birthday start, and it's the last one that I get done. Whatever. I should be able to get this one done in a couple days. So let me say, so I actually completed, and if you count this one too, I actually completed 7 little things in the month of January. So that's pretty exciting. And this one is actually 1/1 on some mystery thing, which I think is 28 count. So that, although it looks little and simple, they take me longer. I think they take me longer than these because it's 1/1. But I still like them, and I'm still, hopefully, we'll have them done by this Christmas. We'll see. They're in my Year of Whips. Hopefully I will. So that was November. Now, another, see, I even labeled them Year of Whip. This one, oh my God, people, this one's coming together so well. I love it. I'm in the big blocks of color, so I do me a little space and then I move on to something else. But this is where I'm at on it. This is Christmas Lantern from Twin Peaks Primitives. And they just put out another pattern that I gotta have. But I'm going to get this one done first before I buy another. That's my thing with the, well, pretty much any of the patterns. I'm kind of thinking, unless it's something that just hits me and I'm like, right now, like a bee thing would do that. It did it last year at Market. But anyway, I want to get I want to get the one they just put out because it's gorgeous. But so I've got these big blocks of color down here that I'm trying to finish, and then it goes up with these here, and then the top has this big blocks of color. So all I have left on this is big blocks of color. Well, I got a few little things in the berries. So I kind of put this one, I work a little bit on it and put it down, but it's also I can work without, like if I have friends over or I go somewhere, because it's large blocks of color now, I don't have to really concentrate hard on it. It's easy to get done. It's just a little bit time consuming. But isn't it going to be beautiful? And on that fabric, I love it. And that little bird up there, I love it. I know it's supposed to be a Christmas lantern, but if I get that little bad boy done, he's probably going to hang up somewhere all year long. Next Year of Whips, and actually my last Stitch 9, because with 6, I only had 3 more to go, and that was November Christmas Lantern, and here lies my needles. Okay. This is a Shakespeare Peddler. And I'm going to have to back up a little bit on this because I'm doing it big. I don't think the last time you saw it, I hadn't done anything on the girl. I think I did a few things up here. It was the last time that I showed this. I haven't really put a lot of work into this one, but with the 3 down, I'm gonna it's going to be worked on really quick. I'm gonna work on November. Try to get some probably work on November until I get to that border and take a break from the border. I hate the border. So those were my completed stitch 9 and my working on my stitch 9 and your whips that I'm in working. The whips for the stitch 9 and the ear whips. Now this one is another coffee one. By Design Works. There we go. And this is where I'm at on it. I should be further on this one, but I really hate working on the black, even with something white underneath it. Even I try to put a little light underneath it. I've tried a lot of things. It's not horrible. I don't dislike it. It's just a little bit more difficult because it is on that black Ada. But I like it, and I think it'll look great. Somewhere near my coffee bar. I actually have 2 more coffee patterns that I purchased. And I love them. So they'll be on the, as soon as I get some of this cleared out, then I'll be working on. And that's my thing, and I'll go through my purchases here. There's some patterns out that I want to buy, but to buy a pattern, I have to complete 2 patterns. So with 6, I should be able to buy 3, but I've only bought 1. And I probably won't buy another one until I finish like Christmas Lantern, and I'll buy the next Twin Peaks that I want. But I can't start working on one until I finish at least 4. But I'm past that goal too. But I'm not going to start this one that I bought, and I'll show you later, because I'm just on such a roll with these. I really want to see these get done before I start another one. So let's just keep moving on. Ear whips here. And it's my green Christmas ornament that you've seen. Don't really care for working on this one. It's not bad. I don't know why. I think once I get past the actual Christmas ornament itself and is able to work on some of this stuff up here, I think it'll get a little better. But I'm a little bored with the ball. But that's where I'm at on it. And I have worked a little bit on it since you've seen it last. I did put a few stitches in on that one. It's going to look great once it gets done. And my thought was, ooh, that's my needle minder. I don't need to take off. My thought was I was going to do the blue one too. But since I'm not enjoying the green one, I don't think I will do the blue one. That's my thought is right now. My thought can change though, right? Another year whip that I really can't wait to get back to is 2 Angry Birds by Shakespeare's Peddler. Yep, I've had 3 Shakespeare's Peddlers in here. I don't think that I have moved at all on this one since you saw it last. Probably the same old. But it's obviously going to get worked on because it's going to, as soon as I get done with those, moving on to these. Now these, just to remind you, I haven't even put them on, I'm not even going to show you anything other than the pattern. And it's my Bee Cottage ones that I adore. Wop, wop, wop. Love those. And then this Elizabeth's Designs. I'm actually doing the little one on the back for my friend. Have not started that. But as much as I feel really great, because as much as I've gotten done, I really know that I can get these done. And that's exciting to me. It's like, I can really get them done. So, I think and the other things in my year whip are my 12 Days of Christmas, but there's no need to take those out and show them to you because they're nowhere. You can't even make the little blob out on it, so it's fine. I'm working on the 8th. So, I did get some threads. Gulf Coast Stitchers, Julie was offering a special on some of her thread packs, so I bought one. I thought I bought one, I got 2. I don't know if I bought one or she threw one in. I really don't know. I didn't bother to go back and look. I'm not going to go through each one of these because if you did, thank you. I'm just going to show you some of the colors like this. And I'm just going to take a moment to say, Julie, I appreciate you doing the thread things, and then just them being on clearance was just an extra bonus, because I'm not in any of the clubs where I get them on monthly. I don't have the storage room, and if we move at the end of the year, I don't want to have to move that stuff. So I don't want a ton of threads that I have to pack up and move. However, by doing the thread pack and then putting them even on clearance, I get to mess with specialty threads that I don't get a chance to mess with because I don't really purchase them. So I'm really excited about having the opportunity to get in here. And it's Weeks Dye Works, Classic Color Works. Is that the only two? Gentle Arts. I thank you for offering those, because it's going to give me a chance to play with them a little bit more. The other purchase I have is as an Etsy purchase. My eye itches, sorry. It is called The Girl in Blue by the Little Stitcher. She actually has some more, and I want to get more of this series. So I will. And I went on and bought this one because it's an Etsy shop, and who knows if it'll be there next year. And this one really spoke to me, so I wanted to get it. The story is this girl in 1933, 2 days before Christmas, got off a train. I don't know what she was doing, but anyway, when she went to get back on the train, she was very pleasant. She had lunch with the people, and everybody liked her. The wind from the train and the wind itself whipped her onto the track. She wound up dying, and nobody knew who she was. And so they created this tombstone. It doesn't, you can't really, it's a tombstone. They buried her. But it's in the memory of the girl in blue killed by train, December 24th, 1933. Unknown but not forgotten. The town buried her and put a monument up for her, and I just thought that was so touching. But it didn't end there. It says no one knew who she was, no one knew her name, and so it was for 60 years. The villagers took care of her, buried her body, took care of her. Then in 1993, an article was written in the New Herald to commemorate her death, and finally was discovered the identity of the girl, whose family had arrived in Pennsylvania in 1901. So in 1901, her family came to Pennsylvania. In 1933, she winds up dying. Her name was Josephine Kilmzakic, but her brothers and sisters called her Sophie. And so they finally figured out by that article who this girl was that was killed in 1933. I don't know, the story touched me, so I wanted it, and I went on and purchased it. I can, by my own rules, start it, but I probably will not until I move through some of these. Let me see. I don't think there's anything else. I've did my whips. I've did my plans are easy. I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I have to see what's coming out in market, see what I'm going to purchase, if I'm going to purchase anything there. Other than that, there's nothing much. I will keep you posted. 2 more weeks. Hopefully in 2 weeks I'll be able to come back and have the other 3 finished. They're a little bit bigger, so they should take me a little bit longer to get done. But if I can get those 3 done, that means my Stitch 9 challenge was complete. And that's also 9 out of my 23 year whips. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I don't want to move on to get some of my other ones done. So anyway, I just want to tell you all, put some thread and needle and get to stitching. Guys, we'll see you back in 2 weeks. Bye. Stitching with the Dachshund. Be my screen grab. All right, bye guys.
Working indie games than there are AAA developers.
Ready?
Sure. I like it already.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah,
In class, I would teach you in a manly fashion. That is one of my favorite lines.
Call it Vera.
Hmm?
I call it Vera.
I can kill you with my brain.
Yes, sir. Captain Tight Pants.
Big damn
Should we
hair.
flip off the light?
Yeah, now turn off the light.
Yeah, now turn off the lights.
Alright, so
Everybody turn.
I'll get these.